Hey guys, what's up? It's NihonTiger and welcome to an iRacing video. Yes, I decided I was going to record a little bit of commentary for a race I did last week. Unfortunately, I didn't get it up when I wanted to, simply because of the fact that my channel was quite busy with other things. But I do have this race I ran last week in the Skip Barber cars, or the Skippies as they're affectionately called, at Interlagos. So just gonna very quickly go over it. Right now it's just a practice session, so don't pay too much attention to it. Just getting a little pre-roll here. We're gonna skip ahead to the race. I qualified in second place. I had the second fastest time, just barely off a pole. And yeah, I had a fairly interesting race, so I will see you on the grid. Alright, and away we go at the start here. So we're taking a nice inside line here. We've got a good run going down into the first corner here, the Senna S's. And a little light on the brake. I've got a guy behind me who wrecked me in the last race, so I'm trying to not let him do that again. I started second in that race too, but I broke my rear wing. So unfortunately, what that means is that I had to go to the pits for a quick repair, and I pretty much lost all my positions. But I made it back around the track. Heading down here into turn 4. Still in second place, chasing down the leader. A lot going on at the moment. It's going to get a little bit more hairy shortly here. But again, we're heading uphill here. It's an uphill turn, a little bit of a double apex to the first very sharp corner. Nicely done here. Around here is slow into a faster left-hander and another sharp right-hander. And this is one of the this coming up here is one of the two important turns on the course, because you get this nice little straight with a little bit of a curve. I'm going to come down here, pretty much like a left angle turn. I'm going to slow down, get through the corner all right, get back on the gas quickly because you're going on the straight here. And there's a lot of speed to pick up. This is one of the longest straights on the Formula One calendar. I think the Kemmel Straight in Spa is also relatively one of the longest. I'm trying to remember what the other one is. There's 3 of them I saw listed, but yeah, not a lot of long straights this long on the F1 calendar. So, come in here, braking again into turn 1. A little light, get through the first corner, and just hammer the gas to get through the second S. Into this long right-hander, almost 180 degrees, the Curva del Sol. And I've got a good run here, right behind the guy who's leading the race. And I don't want to, I'm going to peek a little bit outside, maybe think outside. And I'm pretty sure I don't have it, yep. He's going to brake quicker than me, get back on the gas. I'm going to try again. Heading uphill here into this to see if I can brake and maybe take the lead. And let off the gas there. So I'm doing this in real time, by the way. I'm trying to walk you guys through my race. But you can probably hear it. Unfortunately, the mirrors aren't really visible, which is kind of weird. But there is the third place guy right behind me. The 3 of us are kind of running nose to tail for a couple laps here. And it's 13 laps around Interlagos, I should mention. See some of the other cars down there as they're making their way up toward the corner we just took. And again, this corner, I'm going to make sure that I try to get over onto the rumbly part over there, because it's better for braking. But I had 2 tires on the asphalt, so I think I slid a little bit. But we are heading back up toward the pits. In fact, the Brazilian Portuguese name for that is Subida dos Boches, or literally up to the pits. I hope I pronounced that right. My Brazilian Portuguese is a little rusty. I haven't practiced it in a while. So it's going to get a little wiggle there. And this is where I think, okay, I've got my shot. I've got my shot to set him up here. I'm going to get a good run coming out of 2. With the outside around the Curva del Sol. And that's probably a bad idea because, oh, it's going to cost me a ton of time. And off on the grass a little bit. There's the 3rd place guy making his move past me. And so I think, you know what? He's a little aggressive. They almost touched there. I'm going to let him duke it out a little bit. I'm going to stay within, you know, within reach of them, but I'm going to let him duke it out just a little bit. And then I realize he's slow, and I can make a run on the inside here, so... Or on the outside, but that didn't work. And I think I go inside here. I know I went inside on him at some point, and he didn't like that. But, yeah, I don't have the fancy Williams livery that he's got on his car. So I guess that makes him faster or something. But again, nice run. Nice run going back down to this corner. So the thing to keep in mind with the skippies is a lot of times attrition comes into play. The skippies are the kind of the first actual open wheel car you could drive once you got out of rookie license status in iRacing. So naturally, it's a relatively easy car to drive, relatively slow car to drive, pretty easy to handle especially once you get a really good setup. And I'm in a Discord group with a bunch of other people who run the skippies, and we all kind of get information. There's walkthroughs and stuff like that. It's a really nice group. I thank my buddy 25 from the good old Landers group. Yeah, can't say that right. For bringing me on board there. And I know Jem's on there as well, so the 3 of us are kind of hanging out with that group as well. But yeah, the skippies are relatively hectic. It's a situation like a lot of iRacing stuff. It's a situation, if you survive, you do pretty well, because the damage tends to take a lot of people out in these races, and the skippies are especially no exception to that, because there's a lot of fragile parts. Oh, and that's right, the leader blinks a couple times, which means just loses where he is with this connection and pops him back in. It's kind of scary when you're passing somebody and they blink like that, though. I've had that happen. Not fun. But the skippies, obviously, you've got open suspension on the wheels. You've got the front and rear wings that are nice and easy to get run over. And like I mentioned in the last race, I was P2, and the guy who's actually P2 right now in this race kind of ran into my back end, broke my rear wing. I had to drive all the way around the track with a broken rear wing. I made it back to the pits, and I lost 8 spots doing it, but it's better than getting a tow and losing even more time, I guess. So unfortunately at this point I'm kind of losing touch with the 2 lead cars. They're pulling away, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you know what, this is going to be a 3rd place finish for me, unless we get a little bit of traffic, or unless the 2nd place guy catches up to the 1st place guy. They start racing side by side, and then it gives me a chance to catch up. But he's a little slow coming out of the Senaz is there, so I'm gonna get an opportunity to make a run on him the inside here. Heading down into turn 4, but I think a little better of it. Trying to make positions up, but I'm not trying to make them up that quickly. And I also notice a little bit that we're catching the leader slightly, so I'm just being very ginger with the controls here and watching my spacing. This is actually really important, because with the skippies, if you're too close, you're not going to be. It's actually true for any car. If you're too close, you're not going to be able to brake in time, and the front of your car is going to go underneath the rear of the other guy's car, and that's just a bad time all around. So you always want to make sure you leave a little bit of a gap heading into a heavy braking zone, like right here. Somebody done spun me out at some point in this braking zone as well. I got a rear end full of somebody's nose. Again, we are, two of us are kind of racing now, a little bit closer to the guy in front of me. He's trying to break my draft there, totally legal. If he's throwing one block, it's okay. If he's breaking my draft like that too, it's also okay. That's, neither of those are problems. If he's blocking multiple times, like if I go to the outside here and he moved that, and I went inside and he tried to move and block that, that would be a no-go. That would be a violation of the iRacing sporting code. So just keep that in mind. Don't be a dick. So we're coming up now on some lap traffic. You can see ahead of the blue car up there, it's the leader. There's 3 cars. Don't worry, they're going to come into play in just a moment here, and they're going to be actually kind of important to this whole thing. So with iRacing, obviously you get a blue flag if you have a faster car behind you. For example, you know, if the leader's coming up behind you, you get a blue flag. It says, hey, leader's behind you. You know, you should probably move over or just be aware of it. So the rule technically is that the fast car has to make the move. The slow car doesn't have to immediately pull over to do it. But the slow car has to make a reasonable effort not to just like throw themselves in front of the other guy. Okay, here it is right here. That's right. So this guy's gonna spin. This guy's gonna spin, and he takes out the 3rd place guy. And I probably am gonna put a little replay up there in the corner just to show what happened, because I can do that because I'm awesome like that. But yeah, oh, that's right. It's got the audio on there. So he's 2nd place guy is not happy. I don't know if you can hear him over me talking, but he is dropping a couple of F-bombs here and there. Not very pleasant at that time. He's very upset. So up ahead, we've got 2 more cars. They're racing for position, and the leader is racing to get past them. One of them breaks and goes off. And then the other guy decides he's going to race the leader, crosses him up, and he breaks his rear wing. Yep. He smacked his rear wing, racing him for not positioned to stay on the lead lap. So I have now, by attrition, taken over the lead. And I am now, unfortunately, the one that has to deal with this guy, who is, for the better part, probably of the next 5 laps, at least in my mind, I realize what's happened. And I realize he's probably taken out the 2 cars in front of me, or helped take out the 2 cars in front of me somehow. And it's not my job to get past him. And I know he's going to put up a fight. That's kind of unnecessary. But I also know at this time, and it doesn't have my timing up there, but I know I'm about 10 seconds ahead of the 4th place. Oh, what was the 4th place car like 2 laps ago? It's now 2nd place. So I know I don't need to push it past this guy, because I know the guy behind me is not closing at much of any speed. So I'm just gonna try and see if I can get past him, just blow past him on the straight or something, like right here. And if I can't, I'm not gonna worry about it. If I do, then that's great, because then that means I'm checking out and I'm gone. So I'm very clearly faster in here. I'm drafting to try and catch him going into the first of the Senasses here. We got the inside line, and moves up a little bit. It's kind of a block, but not really. I wouldn't say it's much of a block. It's probably more strategic placing. He just kind of made sure that I wasn't gonna try and outbrake him going into the corner, and that's fair. That's fair. It wasn't like he threw his car in front of me. It did slow me down a little bit, but it's okay. And again, keep in mind, this guy is a lap down that I'm racing, or he's about to be a lap down. He's the last car on the lead lap. And while he has a right to race me, I mean, at some points, if I get a good run in him, I figure he's gonna let me pass. because he's not going to take out 3 lead cars in a single race, is he? It's not that bad of a driver, that much of a guy who's trying to not let anyone pass. He's Gandalf or something. Yep, I can hear the. That's right. I did leave that in. So here we are. We got a nice run on number 10 here, coming up shortly. There we go. Yeah, nice and closed in on them here, heading down into this last corner before we head back up to the straight and back to the start-finish line. Get a good run on them. They're on the inside, and I slide the tires, of course. Of course, my one really good opportunity to get inside past them, and I make the mistake. I lock the brakes up a little bit, and I slide, and he's just going to get a nice run heading out of the corner. And now we're back to where we were just a little bit ago, and it's frustrating. Yay! So laps are at least counting down a little bit, so that is very good. I get a nice run here. He's a little slow going through here. I have to check up to make sure I don't run him over. I mean, that wasn't necessarily that he checked up on me. I think he just had to slow in, and I got a good corner apex there. I just caught him, and I had to check up a little bit. Again, catching him. I slide a little bit, keeping it off the edge of the grass there, so I don't get any safety marks. So by the way, one of the things to keep in mind is that your safety rating is very important to get to licensing. And I have a Class C license in both road and oval. And hopefully next season I'll be Class B in both, which will open up some more racing opportunities and some more video opportunities as well. So you get points, incident points. Oh, here we go. I got a nice run on them here on the inside, and I think I'm free. I'm like, yeah, I'm free. I'm finally free of this guy. This is great. Everything is awesome. So I'm just gonna brake right here, and we're gonna just take off from this guy. I'll get back to the incident points thing in a minute for those of you who don't know what that's all about. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Oh crap! He is now drafting off me and pulling back. So all of a sudden, I thought I'm clear of this guy. Turns out I'm not. He's on the outside. You can hear him right there. And he's passed. So he's unlapped himself again. Good job, friend. Anyways, I kind of let off a little bit there because of the possibility he might run into me, and I would get docked incident points for that. And what that is in iRacing, you have you get incident points when you have off tracks, when you lose control and spin, and when you hit other cars. So now those add up, and at the end of your race, you get assigned a percentage of those points, either up or positively or negatively to your score. As I am passing him on the inside here, I'm going to brake a little bit because I realize he's still outside and that he is probably going to come down and chop my nose off. And again, want to avoid the incident points, want to avoid colliding with him, because I really would like to have a good safety rating for this race. I have so far have a incident-free race. I'm going to come inside here again, and he's gonna just get a better corner and pull away. Good thing is the laps are counting down, so I don't have to worry about him too much. I still would like to get past him just to put him in my rear view mirror here. But yeah, I'm thinking, the whole thing I'm thinking, on top of winning, is I'm thinking incident points. I'm thinking don't let him take you out. Don't let him give you a 4x for a collision, because that's the most you can get, is a 4x for a hard collision. That does damage. And a 4x, a 4x is usually enough, especially at my rating level. It's enough to to do away any good gains you've done through the whole race if you've been clean otherwise, or, you know, if you had a race where you're going to get positive points, you might even get negative points from it, depending on what your current safety rating score is. So I am still trying to size this guy up. We're still in the lead. Second place is still miles behind. I'm just trying to figure out where I can get a good pass on this guy. Get a good run, a good clean run, without having to do a dive bomb. You know, like I used to do all the time. Where I would, you know, a year ago I probably would have just stuck my nose in there, dive bombed them, and tried to pass them, and then taken us both out and cost me my possible race win. So, you know, if anything, iRacing is kind of maybe even more cautious, careful, and smart driver, because you can't win if you not finished a race. But now I'm gonna try and get him on the inside here, get a nice run on him going up into this corner, and again got ourselves a relatively nice run heading down this final corner before the straight. And I realize I can't really get inside. I'll take it a little bit slower. He's got a good line through there. It's a good launch heading off, but I've got the draft. So what I'm gonna try and do is use the draft to get past them. And he's gonna try and break the draft here by getting down inside. But I'm outside, and I've got the momentum to maybe try and pull this off. I don't know. Oh, it's a little close. And I decide better of it. I decide it's not worth it. It's not worth the run. If I can get him here, I'm a little slow, unfortunately. So coming very, very quickly up on the end of the race. So at this point, mentally, I'm going through everything in my head. I'm making sure I put my car right in all the corners. I get the acceleration. I don't spin the tires. It's very easy to do that. And what do you know? Our friend has a little bit of a wide exit. And I've got another opportunity maybe to try and outrun him heading uphill here. Again, I think better of it, which probably is a good decision because he did kind of come inside there to hit the apex. Now I've got a really good run because now I'm right behind him. Went through that corner really well. A little bit slower through that one, but I'm going to get a good launch off. And unfortunately, I don't quite pass him there. I do close the gap up a little bit more again, but again, he's got the better line heading out of the corner. I got to go through it a little bit slower, which means that I'm not going to have as good acceleration off the corner. And this time I get a good run coming out of that corner. Now I'm lined up pretty well behind him, hopefully to get the draft. Except for some reason I don't. And I'm not sure why. I guess he had a much better launch coming out of that corner than I did. I may have had the quicker line through there, but he might have had the faster overall line to take through there. So he's going to come back up just to take the corner all right. Now I'm going to get a good run coming out here, I think. Nope. And I do not. I have to let off the gas a little bit to readjust so I don't go off the track, which is really easy to do at that corner. It's really easy just to gun it, and you slide off the track. You either get an off track or you bash your car up against the wall, break a suspension part, and you're done. So again, just another nice little break coming into here. Either of us go wide. I actually go a little bit wider there. I get the extra momentum I need to try one more time, see if I can make this stick on the inside. And again, I realize that he's probably just gonna make it work like that, but he almost loses it. And I almost get by him for free, which that's the best way to pass somebody. And this time I'm on his bumper heading into this corner. So this time I'm gonna make a nice move on the inside. And he is going to come across and shot my wheel. Yep, that was completely unnecessary. Thank God this turned out to be on the last lap. So the damage wasn't too bad. The car was still drivable. He did break my suspension for no reason. And my front wing, I guess, too. But it was kind of a dumb thing to do. But hey, I'm not going to complain about it. My car is drivable. He didn't wreck me completely out of the race. I'm still in it. I'm going to cross the finish line. I'm just going to let him go. Let him go ahead. Let him have his lap. He's going to have another lap to run anyways because he's at the tail end of this lap. And there we go. First win in iRacing on the road courses and in the skippies. A nice survival win, but a win nonetheless. And as I do it, I'm going to start to realize that, hey, you know what? I'm almost out of fuel. So I'm just going to pull it over and stop. But that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon with some more iRacing. Until then, take care.